morning here in Southeast Asia. You are in America, you are in Africa, you are in Europe, it's in the night. I know. We are in the morning here in Asia. But you that is in Africa, you are in the night. And you that is in America or Europe, you are in the night. I know. In the evening in America, actually. It's around 9 p.m. in America. Yes. And in Africa, it's almost midnight. I'm just guessing. So tonight, wherever you are, let me use the word night because most of you that are watching me, you are in Africa and in America. Either in Ghana, Nigeria, or US. Those of you that are in Asia, I just want you people to note that tonight or today, we want to discuss about the transfer market so far. What is needed for each club? What has your club done so far? Your team, how is your team shaping up? First 2 games were played. The first 2 games that were played for the past 2 weeks, what is your opinion? What do you think about the games that were played so far? How is your team shaping up? Arsenal, Manchester United, Man City, Liverpool, and every other team so far. Remember, some of the teams are already ahead with 6 points. Some of the teams are already ahead with 6 points. Is your team part of those that are ahead with 6 points? Excellent beginning, 100% beginning. 2 matches played so far, and they have 6 points each. 3 teams. It's amazing, but it's not new. It is amazing, but it's not new. It always happens like that. So don't get too excited if your team is already having 6 points. I know Arsenal fans and Man City fans. Man City, they are used to that. They are used to that. Then Brighton fans, don't get too excited about it. And that is why we are here tonight. Don't be too excited that your team is already having 6 points. The league has just started. I know how you start matters a lot. How you start matters a lot. I know. But don't be too excited about that because other teams are coming up. Other teams are still taking shape. Brighton fans, they are overexcited right now. Thank you, my brother Romeo. Thank you so much. God bless you. Brighton fans are overexcited right now. Brighton, they are very, very excited because they are now occupying the top position. To be very honest, I'm surprised because after all the sales that Brighton made, they still had a good start to the season. You know, there were controversies over the sale of some of their players. So much controversy surrounding the players they sold. They sold Casado, which generated a lot of controversies. People were thinking as soon as Casado is gone, Brighton will not have the ability to perform. Because Casado is like their engine room. The coach rightly said it, that they can sell Casado or Casado can go. But there is a spirit. He said the spirit of the team is not sold. Many people heard that statement the coach made, but they really don't understand what he meant by saying that. He said the spirit of the team cannot be sold. Brighton coach Zebi, when the issues were coming up about Casado not coming for training, Casado is going to be sold out, and teams were coming for him. At the time that Liverpool made a bid of £110 million, and Chelsea was still pursuing Casado, the coach dropped a statement. He said, Casado can go, but the spirit of the team remains. The coach really knew what he was talking about. Casado can go, but the spirit of the team remains. Today, 2 matches played, and Brighton won all their 2 games with huge margin goals. They even scored more goals than Manchester City scored. And that is why they are on top of the league so far. If you look at it carefully, Brighton scored 6 goals in 2 games. They scored 6 goals in 2 games. 6 goals in 2 games. You understand it? And if they are able to score, that means that they are prepared for the season. Even though they even lost goalkeeper to Chelsea. Remember, they sold Casado and they sold Sanchez to Chelsea. And they sold, I think, about another 2 or 3 players also went out. Were sold out. Yet, the core base of the team is still there. The spirit of the team is still there. That is what the coach meant. When the coach says that, yes, Casado can go, but the spirit of the team is still there. That is what it means. My good friends, this is just my intro. This is just the intro. 6 minutes of intro. Or 5 minutes of intro. So we are getting started now with all the issues one by one. One by one. Brighton is an amazing club. And from what they did last season, what we saw them do last season, I will not be surprised if they will be in the top 6 this season. I will not be surprised. I know it's still too early to judge. But from what they did last season, I will not be surprised if Brighton will continue like this and they'll be fighting hard. They might be dropping points. They may drop points in some areas. It's a time to come. But the spirit of the team so far, with the winning start that they have right now, I'm seeing them in the top 6 in this season. I'm seeing them in the top 6 this season. Brighton and West Ham. Some so-called big teams might fall. Some so-called big teams like Manchester United, they might struggle to get to the top 6. Let me know if you say top 4. Manchester United is a team that I hope they correct their mistakes right from this very beginning. I hope Manchester United will begin to correct their mistakes because from what I'm seeing, somebody made a statement yesterday. A Man U fan, a legend in Man U made a statement yesterday about the coach, the players that he managed to bring down. He succeeded in bringing some players down, their morals. Even some of them, it's almost like he killed their career. One is that the legend David De Gea, the goalkeeper. The treatment Erik ten Hag gave to De Gea whilst he was there, before his contract expired. De Gea became like, from legend to nobody talks good about De Gea any longer. As if all the faults of the goals considered were his faults. As if all the goals that Manchester United considered last season were his fault. Likewise, what he's doing to Maguire. Maguire is an English player. He still has a fan base. If Maguire goes to the national team, he performs. Maguire performs very well with the national team. So what is it that Maguire is not able to perform when it comes to the club that he's that is paying him every week? There is a question somewhere. There is a question somewhere that needs to be answered. Maguire, that Ten Hag is treating him as if, the more you try to penalize a player as a coach, the more he becomes frustrated. And the more his, confidence level drops. Maguire that we know before he came to Manchester United, Maguire that we know was a very good defender. Harry Maguire. Today, Maguire is becoming like a mocking. How would I put it? Everywhere you go, everybody say Maguire. You want to buy a goalkeeper, they say, a player, they say, we went and buy Maguire. Even in my own parliament in Ghana, they use Maguire to, as an example in the parliament. Why is Ten Hag treating some of the players that way, especially the players that already made name before he arrived? I don't want to talk about the treatment he meted out to Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo had his own shortfalls, but to some extent, he showed disrespect to Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's be honest to ourselves. I am a Chelsea fan, but I'm a football lover. So today, I want us to discuss things in general. Manchester United, I don't see them in the top 6 this season. It's as simple as that. If the coach did not correct certain mistakes, it's not only David De Gea, Maguire, or there are other players that are still complaining. Bro, sorry, but please, you can tell us where is Romeo Lavia. All right, I'll come to that. We are taking it stage by stage. We'll be taking it stage by stage. I'll come to that. Okay? I'll come to that. Romeo Lavia is available. We'll get there. We'll get to Chelsea. I'm just laying the foundations. Okay? So right now, the problem with Manchester United, why I'm saying that they might not get to the top 6 this season, partly is the coach. It is the coach. The Dutch league that he was playing, he played in, that he managed before coming to Manchester United, that is Ajax. It's totally different game altogether. Manchester United is a star that have been gathered, players that are doing well in other clubs. Manchester buys the best. Manchester United, they buy the best. They gather the best players around the world. Manchester United is a traditional club in UK, in England. Manchester United is a traditional club. Don't make a mistake. If you want to rank clubs in England, Manchester United is on top of every other club. They are on top of every other club. They may be followed by Liverpool. Chelsea, it's only the last 20 years that we became, because we invested, our owners, the new owner, how do you call it? Abramovich came in and invested so much. But Manchester, let's be honest to ourselves. Manchester United used to be the biggest club in England. It's a traditional club. The current coach, the way he's treating some of the players, he's making the team struggle. David De Gea struggled throughout last season, partly because of the style of play and the treatment of the coach. Ronaldo had to leave. He was so embarrassed. He had to leave the club. Now, Maguire, we are said he should go. He's not going. He should go. Now the price, okay, if we should pay him the money so that he can go. Maguire now is now become like a non-entity in Manchester United. Maguire has become like a non-entity. Maguire that we know, an English player. First of all, the question is, when Maguire goes to the national team, he performs. Whenever Maguire is in the national team, he performs very well, excellently well. There's never been any time that they will call for national assignment and Maguire's name will not be on the list. There is no time, there's no day that they will call for national assignment. Go and check it. Unless he's injured. And this is not a player also that is injury prone. He's not. Maguire is not an injury prone player. The coach, Erik ten Hag, needs to sit up and ask questions. He needs to sit up and ask questions. What is happening to the team that he's managing? They had pre-season. Now the team started to build up momentum. But there are questions about his management style, especially the way he treats some of the players. You might not be happy with all the players. You cannot be friends with all the players. But man management is important when it comes to this level of football. David De Gea could have stayed or could have renewed his contract if he wanted to, maybe a year, even if he's not the number one. He's a legend of the club, but the way he treated the man, many people complain. Many Manchester insiders, they complain about it. Many insiders complain about it. Maguire right now is facing problems in Manchester United because of the way the coach is treating or handling him. Because the way the coach is treating or handling him. So the coach, Man United, if you are a fan, I want to hear from you. Send me your comment. Send me your comment. Right now, Manchester United, like I said, they are also not in the top 10, having us and down. They are also languishing somewhere around 12. And if they are not careful, they might not recover. Brighton, I believe that the work they are doing, Zebi, the coach is doing, is very great. The spirit of the team is intact. Manchester City, after winning the treble, I'm taking the clubs one by one. Manchester City, after winning the treble, Manchester City that we know, they are not the same again. Manchester City that we know, they are not the same. If somebody should tell you that Haaland is going to be on fire like he was last season, it's never going to be. It's never going to be. For you to understand, where is Kevin De Bruyne now? He's already injured. By the time he comes back, most players, as the season started, most players already getting injured. Most players, most key players in most of the teams, check it very carefully. You go to Arsenal, key players are already getting injury. Key players, the beginning of the season, and Kevin De Bruyne is already injured. And not just that, the coach himself is also injured. He underwent a surgery yesterday, back surgery, and he'll be out for a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. We don't know yet. The coach himself, some of these things, we might not understand it. But if you are a football fan and you've been following football for long, you should know when things like this are happening. You should be able to tell. You should be able to tell that no, all is not well with this club or in this situation. The core base of Manchester City right now, the players that are there, the core base is there. But you remember 2 or 3 still want. Bernardo Silva, for instance, wanted to go. They had to force him to renew his contract. He wanted to go. Mahrez is already gone. They brought in 1 or 2, and they still want to bring in Jeremy Doku. We are not very sure how it's going to pan out because Jeremy Doku is not a tested player in the Premier League. Not every player that comes in that can just start, to deliver. Jeremy Doku is coming in within the next few days from now. His medical will be booked and everything's almost true. They are still buying new players. Jeremy Doku is coming in to replace Mahrez. That I know. But how sure are we that he will just come and just fit in straight away and start moving? It's not automatic. It's not automatic. And the coach right now is under treatment. The coach, Pep Guardiola, he went for surgery yesterday, back surgery. And he might be out for some days or some weeks, according to the statement Manchester City released. So let us not be thinking that Manchester City in this season, they are at full strength as they used to be. They are not. The strength of Manchester City right now, after winning the treble, a lot of things will drop. And from history, after winning the treble, it's always like that. It will take something special. It will take something special for any club or any team to win the treble and still come back the next season very strong. It takes something extraordinary. Something extraordinary. It's not going to be easy at all for them to just come back and win again this season as they were winning last season. It will take something extraordinary. And to be very honest with you, it is this season that we will know whether Pep Guardiola is a real super manager or not. It is this season that we are going to see the actual work of Guardiola. If he's able to manage this team again to win the league, then thumbs up to him because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Moving on to the next club, Arsenal. I mentioned Brighton, I mentioned Man City, I already spoke about Man United. Now let me move to Arsenal. If there is any team to worry about as a Chelsea fan, if there's any team this season that I must be worried about, it's Arsenal. If there is any club that me as a Chelsea fan I need to be worried about, it's Arsenal. No matter what Chelsea we are doing this season, we need to put our eyes on Arsenal. And trust me, if we want to compete with Arsenal, then we should be prepared this season to beat Arsenal home and away. Chelsea fans, get it clearly from me. If we want to achieve something this season and be excited about, I'm not saying we are going to carry the league, but even if we are not taking the league, as for Arsenal, the football club Arsenal, we must compete with them, beat them home and away in this season. That is the only time I can say we have done very well. Because Arsenal is a team to beat this season. The strength of Arsenal right now, there is no other team in the Premier League that is as strong as they are. They have gotten to a stage where they can grind out results. They can grind out results from nowhere. No, if you doubt what I'm saying, go back and watch their match against Crystal Palace. Go back and watch it. This season, Arsenal will grind out results. It's like, I'm seeing Arsenal like Like Chelsea of 2008, 2007, 2008. No matter how tough the game is, the match is, Chelsea has a way of grinding out results. As for defeat, no way. And it will be difficult for any team to beat Arsenal this season at home. Look, the squad that Arsenal have this season is rather unfortunate. Like I said earlier on, the beginning of the season, most players that could be relied on are getting injured. That is why they are this new defender. What's his name? Got injured recently. The new defender, the new midfielder, Timberland, or what they call him. I'll get his name. He's already injured. And they are looking for a replacement for him right now. But even without him, look at what they did to Crystal Palace. They were able to grind out the result. Look at the role that they gave to our own Thomas Partey. From midfield, they shifted him to defense, and he delivered. They shifted Partey to defense so that Rice can take full control of the midfield. Declan Rice, and he delivered. He delivered in that position. Arsenal in this season, man, we need to watch them. If there's any club that Chelsea need to be worried about in this season, then it's Arsenal. They are not occupying that third position for nothing. For them to grant another penalty, for you to know that in this season, no matter how tough the game is, they will surely get a good result in their favor. They would. They would. Next, let me move to Liverpool. Liverpool. You see, Liverpool is a club that is unpredictable. Liverpool is a club that is unpredictable. Year in, year out, I keep saying that Liverpool is a club. It's a traditional club, by the way. And they are unpredictable in every season. You can never predict where Liverpool will end the season. You can never predict where Liverpool will end the season. But they have, and one thing they are very good in is the management is very good in giving time. They are not like Chelsea that if you don't perform this season, they will just, the coach is gone. Or every 3 months, the coach is going. This coach comes, he's not performing, he's going. They have given Jurgen Klopp a lot of time. They gave him so much time. I think it was in the 3rd year before he was able to win the first cup. He spent 2 years without winning anything. I remember very well when Mourinho even made a statement that there are some clubs, they can hire a coach, 2 years, he wins nothing, and nobody talks. But it's only him. 3 months, and he's gone. Klopp has been in that with that place over 2 years without winning a cup. Liverpool gave him time to build. And after building up, that was when they carried the league, they carried the Champions League at the same time. They carried the league and carried the Champions League. After carrying the Champions League, that is when they began to, drop again. They began to drop again. Coupled with last 2 seasons, they had few problems. Then Sadio Mane had to leave Liverpool. Why did he left? He left because he was not being credited enough. He was not being credited for the things he's doing in Liverpool. All the credit were going to the Egyptian Pharaoh. We all know the Egyptian Pharaoh. All the credit were being given to Mohamed Salah. But if you watch very carefully, Mohamed Salah on that right side and Sadio Mane on that left side, they work hand in hand. If the ball from here, it goes here. Either Mohamed Salah is scoring or Sadio Mane is scoring. But people were now giving all the credits of the team to Mohamed Salah, as if he's the only one carrying the club on his head. Nobody recognizes Sadio Mane in Liverpool. The guy complained until, he got tired and he had to make that decision. It wasn't his desire to leave Liverpool. He wanted to become a legend there. In fact, he is a legend anyway. but he wanted to really make a name. That's why he went to Manchester, Bayern Munich, and things fell apart. It's normal because he was part of the build-up in Liverpool. This season that we are in right now, they lost almost about 4 players, including their captain. They lost almost about 4 players. And those players that are lost, they needed replacement. And to be very honest, last season is the reason why they had to let go certain players to get new players in. They needed to get some old wood legs out and bring in fresh, new, enthusiastic players. But this season has been very tough for every club in the market. So Liverpool club, as it stands right now, it can never be predicted. Don't get me wrong, if you're a Liverpool fan, it can never be predicted. The defensive midfielder they went and buy from Stuttgart, from all indications, the guy is very good. From the record that we have, the statistics, the guy is very good. But remember, he's 30 years old. He's not younger. He's 30 years old. He can't do the job all. He can't do the job all. The front three of Liverpool, they are very good. But their midfield still has a problem, still has an issue. Please send me your comment. Let me know where you are commenting from. Let me hear from you about all that I'm saying right now. Chelsea fans, I'll get to Romeo Lava issue. I'll get to Chelsea. Please, in a few moments. You see, so as it stands right now, Liverpool is a club you cannot predict as we speak. You can't predict as we speak. They are still working to sign more players. Liverpool are working to sign more players, especially in that midfield area. Liverpool are working to sign players in that midfield area. In that midfield area. That for sure. So we need to be patient. Liverpool fans need to be patient. Yes, Liverpool fans need to be patient for the club. Because your team right now as it stands, nobody can predict it. But I can assure you that Liverpool will be the top 6. They'll be in the top 6. The only club that I don't see to be part of the top 6 going forward is Manchester United, sorry. Due to the way the coach is handling issues there. Yeah, Manchester United. Now, moving on to the next, I'm talking about the normal teams that we know them. Tottenham. Have you watched their last game? Did you watch their match against Manchester United? You'll be so excited. If you're a Tottenham fan, you should be excited about what is cooking in Tottenham right now, even without Harry Kane. If you're a Tottenham fan, be excited about what is being cooked there. Be excited about what is being cooked in Tottenham right now. If you're a Tottenham fan, be excited about what is being cooked over there. Because for me, what I'm seeing in Tottenham right now, I'm seeing a club that is building something, in fact, different from what other clubs are doing. The coach, Postecoglou, is building something strange in a short period of time. In a short period of time that he came in, what he's building over there, I am amazed. I am amazed of what Tottenham are building. I am amazed. And so we need to give Tottenham the opportunity this season. They are going to deliver. Nobody should make a mistake thinking because Harry Kane is gone, and so it looks as if the going of Harry Kane rather motivated some of the players to step up. The new captain, Son, if you watch his performance with that captain's band, the armband alone, I don't know whether that is what is serving him, giving him more motivation. Tottenham are cooking something, my dear friend. As it stands right now, the Tottenham Hotspur still have a fair bit of business to attend to in the later stages of the summer window, transfer window. Spurs are similarly still looking for reinforcement up front. They are looking for, in addition, there haven't been many outgoings at Spurs this summer. You see, Harry Kane and Harry Winks have been sold. Joe Rodden has gone out on loan, and Lucas Moura has left the club. Several players with uncertainty futures, such as Ndebele and Giovanni, they are still there in Spurs. Right now, from what I am seeing, the players that they thought could be going, most of them are still there, and they are performing. They are performing. My view, I wrote it down here, my view on Tottenham. For a while, it looked like Lo Celso, Remontada, was on the cards at Tottenham. He featured in preseason under new Spurs boss, Ange Postecoglou, and looked good. This sparked hopes of a return to the squad. However, we've returned to type speculation once again, linking Celso with a move away from Spurs. The Spurs playmaker is very highly rated by a lot of his peers. He will no doubt shine elsewhere, as he already has done out on loan before. This is a talented player in Spurs, but I don't know why the coaches are not making use of him. Former Villarreal teammate Rulli previously deemed him one of the best players in the world. Let's hope Lo Celso future is finally decided once and for all. A loan with obligation to buy would be ideal for both the player and Spurs. That is if they don't want to make use of him. But the chap is very good. That guy is very good. When I saw him in preseason, he is very, very, very good. He is very, very, very good. And so for me personally, the guy should be added to the squad. Right now, I know what they are working. They are cooking something great. Spurs fans should be excited because many were expecting that as Harry Kane left the club, this season things will fall apart. But the rate at which they are working, if you watch the match against Manchester United, this is what they played. This is what they played. My friends, let's move on to West Ham, the club that made many Chelsea fans so weak, so disappointed. Up to now, many fans of Chelsea have not recovered, including myself. Sometimes I will come, but I find it difficult sometimes to even talk about Chelsea. I don't know what is happening right now. To be very honest with you, with all the enthusiasm that we started the league with the players we signed, we were hoping that, look, I'll come to Chelsea. Let me not go there yet. I'm on West Ham. Chelsea fans, I'm on West Ham. West Ham is one club that is also being managed very, very well. Season in, season out. Every season they are in the top 6. I don't remember the last time they fell out of the top 6. West Ham. And the kind of player that they have, or they always signed. I believe they are scouts. West Ham have a good scouting department. West Ham, they have a very good scouting department. Their scouting department is really, 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 really good. I don't really know the people that are there in that department, but the kind of work they do in that scouting department. Every season, you know, the sales players almost about at least 3 every season. Yet, they don't lose anything. They sell and they rebuild. And every season, they are almost in Europe. They are not in Champions League, but they are always in Conference League. Go check your records. West Ham are always in the Conference League or Europa League. Every season, West Ham are always in Europa League. And they maintain the same coach. The same coach, David Moyes, he has been there for how many years now? That is what, if you want to think about consistency, building something on consistency. It does not work today, does not mean that it will not work tomorrow. Why be in haste to let go of the coach because of one mistake or 2 mistakes? Consistency. I saw that in Liverpool in the past few seasons. And I saw that in West Ham for the past few years. It's like consistency. And every season they are in the top 6. Every season, they are always in the top 6. Chelsea with all the money, or some other club that used to invest heavily every season, so sometimes we fall out of the top 6. But West Ham with consistency, they are always in the top 6. Just look at the embarrassment they gave to Chelsea last Sunday. I felt so embarrassed discussing West Ham match with my friends. It's so embarrassing. It is very embarrassing, honestly. Sorry. It is very embarrassing to discuss Chelsea's match with West Ham, about West Ham. We cannot look, the club West Ham, like I'm telling you, they have a very good scouting department. Let's watch out for them this season also. They are not going to fall for any team easily. They are not going to fall for any team easily. West Ham. Newcastle, who just bought a Chelsea talent, an 18 years boy that we tried to build up from when he was 8 or so. We gave it out to them for almost free. A loan with obligation to buy. I don't know where that terms began to come from. Loan with obligation to buy. Where are we beginning to get all these terms from? Loan with obligation to buy. As in how? It's not loan with an option to buy again. So it means that even if the player, we want to get him back next season, we are not getting him. We are not getting him back next season or next 2 seasons. It's an obligation of them to buy it. Even if the player becomes Ronaldo or Messi, by the end of next season, we don't have the right or the first right to buy him back. Loan with an obligation to buy simply means that they have already bought the player. Maybe the payment structure for this season is difficult for them to pay straight away. So they break it down. Okay, we are taking him on loan first. Then we had obligation to buy him next season. Next season, by then, we would have raised enough money to pay. Loan with an obligation to buy. My dear friends, let's watch out for Newcastle. They are under new management. The Saudis, they bought Newcastle as well. And they pump in so much. A lot of investments were made into Newcastle. This season, they are equally good. And let's watch out for them. The top 4, Newcastle might still be in the top 4 like they were last season. Newcastle, from what they have achieved last season and what they are building right now. Newcastle, and one thing about them, one thing I observed about Newcastle, they were not building like how Chelsea is building. They took their time, stage by stage. Stage by stage. They are coming up stage by stage. They are not buying names that you can think of. They are still looking at talents. The unknown talents. That is what they are gathering. That is why you don't hear them buying Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar. You don't hear those players around Newcastle. They are building talents that are not known. Just imagine for them to be able to identify Lewis Hall, 18-year-old, and they took him on. That is what they are doing. Talents. They have the money to buy huge, big players, but they are building something special and unique. We need to watch out for Newcastle in this season. We need to watch out for them. Yes. Well, my nerves is telling me to go to Chelsea now before my Chelsea brothers will get angry with me. So let me quickly go to Chelsea. What do you want to hear? Romeo Lavia. Romeo Lavia is in the club. Romeo is there. Romeo is there. There's nothing going wrong with Romeo Lavia. But let me quickly give you updates on Chelsea. Romeo Lavia is there. Don't be worried. Don't be upset. Romeo Lavia is there in Chelsea. Let me give you all that I know about Chelsea in the past few days, including Romeo Lavia. Okay? It is very important that Chelsea fans know exactly what is happening around their club. And I want to assure you that all is well with Chelsea. And all is well with Romeo Lavia. There is nothing that is happening to Romeo. There is nothing happening to Romeo Lavia. All is well. My internet, oh my goodness. All is well with Romeo Lavia. All is well. Yes. Many people are asking questions about Romeo Lavia. I agree, we need to ask his whereabouts. The pictures from the training ground this week so far, there has not been anything said about Romeo Lavia. He was not in any of the pictures that came up this week from our training ground. The pictures that came up from our training ground this week, it's hard to see Romeo Lavia picture among those pictures. And that gives a signal. And that is why many people are asking that question. Where is Romeo Lavia? My brother, you are not the only person that asked that question. Many people asked that question this week. That Romeo Lavia picture was not seen among the players training at Cobham. It is true. But there's only one simple answer to that. Thank you very much. Oh, nobody cares, my friend. Leave me alone. Romeo Lavia. Romeo Lavia issue, to be very honest with you, you are not the only person that was asking. We asked the same question. The pictures that came out this week from Cobham, from our training ground, doesn't have anything to say about Romeo Lavia. But our sources indicated that one of the reasons why when he left Brighton, he traveled to Belgium. When he left Chelsea, when he left Brighton, when he left the Southampton, in a hope of the transfer, he traveled to Belgium, if you can remember. He traveled to Belgium. He was in Belgium while the negotiations were ongoing. And after the negotiations, he came down to sign the agreement and everything. One of the reasons given was that they had personal issues that he needed to sort out. Personal family issues that he needed to sort out. And so the understanding we are having right now is that Romeo Lavia is in good health. He's very strong, but he is training privately. They are taking him through certain training, private training, or separate training. He is not part of the club, the core team for training. Romeo has been separated for two reasons. One, family issue that he's trying to resolve. Family issue that he's trying to resolve. Two, he's been given a private trainer. He's been given a private trainer. Many things affect certain players in certain conditions, psychologically, especially the news that surrounded the transfer. The news that surrounded the transfer makes it more difficult for certain players to recover. And so and he's very young, 19-year-old. And so they are taking him to private or separate training whilst he's sorting out issues with the family. And family issues are sometimes private, even though he's a public figure, but there are things that are being withheld from us right now. What we know is that he is not in the main squad as at now. As at Monday, Tuesday, these 2 days, he was not seen in Cobham training with the squad. It's only Monday and Tuesday he was not available, that he was not there. Remember, his deal was concluded only last week. He was registered only last week. I think on Thursday that he was registered. Is it Thursday, Friday? Yeah. And so his fitness level is not as it's supposed to be. He needs to go through certain paces. That is on Romeo Lavia. Now, coming to other issues in Chelsea. Chelsea, as a football club, we have a tradition. I'm not saying we are a traditional club. I said we have a tradition. And Chelsea's tradition is very simple. You win and win and win and win. Otherwise, you are not safe. Both the player and the coach, especially coaches. If you're a coach in Chelsea and you lose 3 straight matches, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. Yes, that is Chelsea for you. If you are in Chelsea and you lose 3 straight matches, you are in a very big trouble. In preseason, Chelsea did very well. So far, in preseason, Chelsea didn't lose any match under Pochettino. Chelsea didn't lose a single match. Rather, we played draw. We drew 2. We won 3. We drew 2 and we won 3. And we scored 13 goals and conceded, I think, 5. We scored 13 goals and conceded 5 in the process. I remember doing the analysis when we were about to play Liverpool. When Liverpool scored about, is it 16 or 17 goals, but conceded about 12 goals. They conceded more than Chelsea. Now the season started. The first game, we drew against Liverpool. Second one, we lost to West Ham. And we lost badly. It's not just about 1 goal margin or 2 goals margin. 3-1. Personally, it's a bad result for Chelsea. It is a bad result for Chelsea. But what is happening right now, like our coach said, the teams are up and doing. And if you listen to the statement made by some of the players, they are up and doing. Our next game is against Luton on Friday. Friday is our next game against Luton. And so the expectation is that Friday's match is a must-win for Chelsea. Friday, it is a must-win game for Chelsea. No excuse. Anything that falls short of winning, it means that this season is going to continue like that. And we are not hoping for that. With the talent and the players and the money spent, we can't take a draw against Luton. No. If you go on the internet and you make all the research, you contact all the pundits, you speak to all the pundits and all the analyses that are coming up, it is very clear that Chelsea, even though it is a project, they will have to start to hit the ground running. The manager knows this. He knows it. He cannot afford to make the same mistakes in the lineup as he did against West Ham. In preseason, we never played five back. In preseason, what we played was 4-3-2-1. And we were winning 4-3-2-1. That is the formation that we practiced. Look, it was a scam. Against West Ham game was more like a scam. The formation he adopted in West Ham game, nobody could understand it. Nobody saw it coming. Pochettino need to understand the core base of the team. In preseason, what he was playing was 4-3-2-1. Sometimes along the line, he would change it to 4-3-3. Now, you were playing against West Ham and you went in 5-2 what? It was embarrassing to see the performance of the squad on Sunday. It was embarrassing. If you're a Chelsea fan, I know you were embarrassed as well. It was very embarrassing. The match on Friday against Luton is a must-win for Chelsea. It's as simple as that. I know Chelsea fans out there, you agree with me. Chelsea fans out there, I know you agree with me. Send me your comment. Let me know what you think. Now, he's getting about a full week with Casado. We want to see what he can do with Casado. You've gotten a full week. Now, today is Wednesday. We're already on Wednesday. Casado signed his deal last week. Or he became a full player of Chelsea last week. This week, you've gotten a full week training with the guy, Casado. There is no injury. All that he needed is his confidence back. And then the formation and the team, the team spirit. He needs to get the team spirit correct. He needs to get the formation correct. Because the players in this club right now, the players that are at his disposal right now are players that if you give to any good coach, he should be able to manage that team very well. These are not players with ego. There's nobody in that squad right now you can tell me that is full of ego or is full of himself. I'm very passionate when it comes to Chelsea. That is why I decided to hold on and explain the top 6 teams, the other team, before getting to Chelsea issue. Right now, as we speak, hear me and hear me very well, Chelsea fans. It is very clear that we have given the coach everything that he needed. In the transfer market, he was fully involved in the transfer market. He was fully involved. He was not sidelined in the transfer market. He's been updated on daily basis on the transfers. He tells what he wants and they go in for it for him. The profile of players that we are buying in this season are exact profile of players that he wanted. Because he's the one that is building the team, not the owners. Last season, one of the mistakes that the owners made was to buy players that they think was good for the club. Now that Pochettino took over, they gave him the liberty, the freedom to bring his own idea. To bring his own idea on the team. It is Pochettino that is building the team according to his own ideas. And this time around also, they are not just buying players, they are buying players on statistics. They are using science to buy players. They check the profile of the player, his performance rate, his delivery rate. They compare to what they want to build, the position that he's going to play. They are using scientific equipment. They are detecting every detail of every player. They are making sure that the players they are buying fit into the role they want him to play. We don't have any more excuse against Luton. Let it be that we are turning our anger on Luton. Let's go in there on Friday and finish the game in the first half, 3-0 in the first half. Let that be a signal to the rest of the teams that we are going to be meeting afterwards. Our play against Luton, let that be a signal, a strong signal, a strong warning to every other team that we are going to be meeting in the league. Otherwise, look, if we fail in sending a positive signal out there, if we fumble against Luton on Friday, if we play a draw against Luton on Friday, or we lost against Luton on Friday, Chelsea's season will be ruined throughout. Our season will be ruined throughout. From the supporters base, from the fan base to the team itself. You know why? The other clubs will now be seeing Chelsea like, oh, they are a team that we can run over. Chelsea is a club, a team that we can just go in there. If we can give our all, we can run over them. The fear factor will no longer be there. And even the fan base will no longer have confidence, full confidence in the squad. Questions will begin to be asked. Questions will begin to be asked. And that is the more reason why the match against Luton, Chelsea need to come out, the players need to come out and perform. Raheem Sterling, I pray that Raheem Sterling will continue the way he started with West Ham. Like he himself said, he performs best when he is taking on the other teams. When he's running through the defenders, and he knows that he's performed. Anything other than that, he did not perform. I'm happy. He's a senior player. I'm happy. He's an experienced player. And he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. Kanechukwu Emeka, I'm glad that the injury is not as severe as we thought. 6 weeks, yes, it's quite long. But I'm hoping that Kanechukwu Emeka will come back to the squad as quickly as possible. We are told it's going to be 6 weeks. That's 1 month, 2 weeks. A knee injury. I'm praying that he will come back to the squad as soon as possible. Because what that guy is having right now in this season, he's going to be one of our best players, Kanechukwu Emeka. Kanechukwu Emeka. You see, we have a problem in the squad right now, which we have been talking about all this while. That number 10 row, It's something which Chelsea need to begin to act and act quickly on. That number 10 role, Chelsea need to begin to act and act quickly before it gets too late. That number 10 role. And that is why, from the very beginning, we've been mentioning players. In fact, not that we've just been mentioning players. Chelsea was in contact with some of these players. Chelsea was in touch with some of these players. Not that we're not in touch with them, but we really don't know exactly what transpired. We don't know exactly what transpired. The moment Michael Olise deal collapsed, I don't know whether we put all our hope on Michael Olise, thinking we were going to get him so easily. When the approach was very wrong from the very beginning. Chelsea's approach for Michael Olise was very wrong from the very beginning. We approached the player instead of approaching the club. We approached the player instead of approaching the club. And it's done, but there's a way you do it that the club would not get to know about it. There's a way you do it that even if the club gets to know about it, it will not be an issue. And in this case, we had options then. There were 3 options. Michael Olise, number 1. Number 2, Ryan Cherki. Then Mohamed Kudus. But all of a sudden, even Michael Olise was not the priority that time. It was Ryan Cherki and Mohamed Kudus that was the talk. All of a sudden, we shifted every of our attention to Michael Olise. I personally believe that it was a right decision because Michael Olise was already in the Premier League. He had all the experiences that are needed in the Premier League. And if you look at his rate of assist, he's not a goal scorer. He doesn't score goals that much. But if you look at the assist that he's been given in that Crystal Palace setup, if you watch the assist, he gives a lot of assists. He doesn't score much goals. Unlike Mohamed Kudus, that some of us were hoping for. Mohamed Kudus can score, he can give assists. Last season alone, Mohamed Kudus scored almost about 18 goals also in the season. About 18 goals in one season. Likewise, he gave almost about 8 or so or 9 assists. So I was thinking Mohamed Kudus had a better profile, but Mohamed Kudus doesn't have the Premier League experience. And Premier League experience matters when you want a player that will come in and start performing. The player that will come in and start performing straight away. It is not like now before we want to. The season has already started. You don't have 2 weeks to train the squad. You already know the league. You know the strength of the league. So you are just coming and you begin to perform. Once the coach tells you your role, what you need to be doing, you are coming in straight away. You fit into the position, begin to perform. And that is why I somehow agree that we should go in for Michael Olise. But since that deal collapsed, what were we waiting for? Since the deal of Michael Olise collapsed, what were we waiting for? What is it that we were waiting for? Now, Mohamed Kudus, Nottingham Forest forward, Brennan Johnson is another name that came up recently. Brennan Johnson came up recently. But if you go deeper, so far, nothing has been done about it. Mohamed Kudus, for the past how many days, we've not heard any news regarding Mohamed Kudus to Chelsea. Lyon winger Bradley Bacola is another name that came up recently. We are talking about the number 10 position. That is a challenge Chelsea have right now. Lyon winger Bradley Bacola. Bacola is another name that came up recently for Chelsea to buy in that number 10 role. But we only heard it's been considered. Look, there's no time on our side. Chelsea, there's no time on our side. The earlier, the better. The earlier, the better. The earlier, the better. We need someone that will come in and deliver the goals. Nicholas Jackson seems to be isolated in our games. The first two games, Nicholas Jackson seems to be isolated. The partnership that Nicholas Jackson had with Nkuku disappeared. He is doing the hard work, running up and down, but the passes that can deliver the goals are not coming. The passes that can deliver the goals are not coming. It's not coming. It's not coming. The passes that can deliver the goals is not coming. Sterling did very well, and I have his how do you call it here? The statement he made here. He said, I am a player that needs to be driving action after action. If I'm not doing that, I am nowhere near my best. So that's what I need to keep doing every time I get the ball. I have to run, drive, and be aggressive. This is Raheem Sterling. I have to run, drive, and be aggressive. If I'm not doing this, then I am not performing to my best. And according to stats released by Chelsea, Sterling's 27 sprint during the game against West Ham is a high for him since moving to Stamford Bridge. And I have his stats here. Raheem Sterling broke several personal records as a Chelsea player against West Ham. He completed 6 dribbles. Previous best was 4. 27 sprints. Previous best was 26. 16 touches in the opposition box. Previous best was 12. Averaging 7.5 attempted dribbles this season. That's 3.3 PG last time. Great performance from Raheem Sterling in our last game. If he can keep this up, and if the other players can lift up their games, if we can get the number 10 position that we are talking about, because Nkuku is not there now. Chukwuemeka, who stepped in for Nkuku, got injured. He'll be out for 6 weeks. My friends, we need someone like Ryan Cherki or Mohamed Kudus in that position this week. That player might not play this coming Friday, but he needs to be part of the squad from this week. Start to train with them. Because that role is very, very important. It's making our striker, Nicholas Jackson, isolated. It's making striker, Nicholas Jackson, very isolated. We can't continue like this. We have crossed the 1 hour mark. And I want to run up with Chelsea quickly, and we move to other transfer matters. We can't say much again about that number 10 role that we needed. Now let's go to the striking position itself. Striker position itself. As it stands right now, striker position itself. Let's go there now. I said it again and again. Our striker position. Now as we speak, it is very clear that we cannot move on with one striker, Nicholas Jackson. Our coach made it very clear that we needed another striker. Armando Broja is there. He's recovering. But we cannot rely on him to come to full fitness and begin to strike immediately. Not to say that Nicholas Jackson cannot do the job, but we need a goal poacher. We need someone that can step in, even if Nicholas Jackson is not delivering. And remember, Nicholas Jackson is still new in the league. It will take time for him to adapt to the league. We saw his display. Run-through balls are very good. He's very good with the run-through balls. That is, if the right balls can be delivered to him. Against West Ham, I observed 2 balls were played through to him, but they were not delivered well. The balls were played behind him. When he being surrounded by 2 players, he's in the midst of 2 players. He's been sandwiched, and the ball was delivered to the right side of the other player, the right side of the defender that was around him. And so by the time he ran behind the defender, it's too late. it's too late. And we heard that Chelsea are in talks or have shown interest in the third striker of Arsenal. Arsenal's third choice, behind Edin Ketia. Arsenal's third choice, behind Edin Ketia. I'm not too sure how serious we are right now when that news is coming up. To be very honest with you, I am not too sure how serious we are with that. If we are serious to get that player, third choice of Arsenal, I'll be very much disappointed. In fact, I am disappointed. I am very much disappointed. What is his name? The third choice from Arsenal. I'm trying to get his name. That player, personally, I'm not in favor of it. I don't see why Chelsea at this time should be going for that player. If he's that good, why won't Arsenal make use of him? He was on loan last season in the French league. That was where he performed well. That was when he delivered so much. That was when he performed so well. Why now Chelsea wants to go for the third choice keeper? Now he's even training with the under-21s. He's not with the main squad of Arsenal. But what is his name? Balogun. He's not training with the first team. He's rather training with the under-21. And Chelsea is to pay £50 million for such a player. I'm sorry, let us not make that mistake. Let us not make that mistake. We have capable hands that is already there, that is on salary or wages in Chelsea in the form of Lukaku. And I will still repeat it again, Lukaku. It's better, instead of going in for Balogun, it's better Chelsea go in for Lukaku. It's better we go back to the drawing table and talk to Lukaku. If he is willing, it's better we go in back for him. It's better we go in back for him. Now, let me go to the goalkeeping department. Thank God today, Wednesday, we've gotten a goalkeeper that is going to be our number 2. Initially, I wasn't so excited about that. I wasn't so happy about that. But looking at the statistics of that goalkeeper, my friends, he is a very good goalkeeper. He might turn out to be the number 1. Georgi Petrovic to Chelsea. Medicals today, and every other thing will be done today. Georgi Petrovic to Chelsea. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place. Documents are going to be signed today, Wednesday. Medicals, everything today. The deal is complete. So that thumbs up to our owners again. Very good job done. For us to have him, when I look at his statistics, I'm so glad. I just hope that he will come in and pose a great competition to Sanchez. And most probably to become the number 1. Because if you look at his saves percentage, he is that fearless goalkeeper. He is a fearless goalkeeper. Yeah. He is a fearless goalkeeper. He's already in the UK. He is a fearless goalkeeper. So let's hope that he will come in and deliver as expected. I want to also let you understand that out of the 6 surgery, there are almost about 6 players of Chelsea that went for surgery. 6 players that went for surgery. 6 players went for surgery. Chelsea players that are on the injury list, they are about 6 or 7. And so let's remember, most of the players that are on injury list, they're supposed to be part of the first 11, but they are on the injury list. And it's not a good news for us. Our management, our coaches, they need to find out what is causing the injuries to our players. Is it the training that they are undergoing? What is it that is causing injury to all these players? There must be something wrong somewhere. We cannot be going for, having one injury per game. One injury per game. If not, otherwise, by the time we play by December, all our players will be on the injury list. An injury per game. From preseason, an injury per game. No. We can't have an injury one game. Every time. Technical department. Now we have even people that are scientifically trained. They are dietitians for footballers. They have a lot of people that are working as a scientist in that football in the technical area. They need to find out what is it that is causing the injury to the players, because we cannot continue to have an injury per game. It's getting out of hand. Chelsea, we need to check that very carefully. We need to check that very carefully. We need to check it very carefully. And welcome to Chelsea, George Petrovic. Yeah. Welcome to Chelsea, George Petrovic. To other transfer news, my dear friends, we have spoken about most of the clubs, about 8 clubs I spoke about this very evening, or this morning, depending on where you are. I spoke about 8 clubs. Now I want to go to the transfer market. I want to go to the transfer market now for us to know what is happening. Jeremy Doku to Manchester City. Jeremy Doku to Manchester City. Yeah. Jeremy Doku to Manchester City. It's the latest. Jeremy Doku to Manchester City is the latest. Pavard from Bayern Munich. Pavard from Bayern Munich. Benjamin Pavard from Bayern Munich is being targeted by Liverpool and Manchester United. Bayern are now actively working on replacement for Benjamin Pavard, as talks are taking place already tonight with a candidate. Talks are already taking place tonight. Bayern Munich, all they need right now is to get a replacement for Benjamin Pavard. Inter are just waiting for the final green light to complete Benjamin Pavard deal, as clubs agreed on fee. Medical could be later this week. Benjamin Pavard to Inter Milan. That is what they are waiting for right now. That is what they are waiting for right now. And like I said to you earlier on, Jeremy Doku to Bayern, to Manchester City. They are also waiting more on Jeremy Doku and Man City. The fee will be close to 60 million euro package, right, to include very favorable payment terms in installment basis. So Jeremy Doku to Man City, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Medicals are to be booked this week. In the next 24 hours or 48 hours, Benjamin Doku will become Manchester City player. He will become a Manchester City player. To other news, like I gave out last night, to other news, quickly, to other news, before we run up. I think we have done 1 hour plus already. So, Ernest Nyama to Lens. From Northern, Ernest Nyama to Lens. The Ghanaian fans out there. It's a good news for the national team of Ghana. Ernest Nyama from Northern to Lens. Yes, this young guy was linked to PSG. At the point, he was linked to even Manchester City. But I believe his management, his agent, they made the right choice for him to build on. And we have been told that before we receive is that this whole thing was done by Michael Essien. You know Michael Essien with Northern. Michael Essien is part of the Northern technical department, the coaching staff there. I think he's the assistant coach there. So the deal, the whole thing was motivated by Michael Essien. Look at his own career. He started from Lens. From FC Basel to Lens, before to Premier League. And so Michael Essien have a very good relationship with the team of the team in France, Lens. And so he advised Lens to or the player to move there first, instead of moving to all those top clubs where you might end up being on the bench and being a bench warmer. Go to Lens. When you perform there in the next season or two, you cannot get a bigger transfer. So Ernest Nyama now to Lens. Yes. And that will help his development as well. That could help his development as well. Okay. Fulham are reportedly interested in signing Juventus striker Moise Kean. Fulham are interested in signing Juventus striker Moise Kean. Marco Silva wants to sign a replacement for departed Alexander Mitrovic. This is other news. Fulham are reportedly interested in signing Juventus striker Moise Kean. Marco Silva, that is the coach of Fulham, wants to sign a replacement for the departed Alexander Mitrovic. The Evening Standard says the cottages have approached Juve about a possible deal for former Everton star Kean. It is also claimed a move for Chelsea winger Callum Hudson-Odoi has stalled after a failed agreement on a fee. Quickly, let me go to my live and get to my live contacts and get you live details of what is happening now live. Yes. Let me see whether there's a new update. It is happening. It is happening. Brighton are signing Fabrizio Diaz. That is for you out there, Brighton fan. With all that they are doing, they are still signing. Brighton are signing Fabrizio Diaz. They are doing it again. Their recruitment is genuinely top-notch. You get that? Their recruitment is genuinely top-notch. They are already on top of the league. 2 games, 2 wins with 6 goals. And their recruitment is genuinely top-notch. The Zebi is going to turn him into a 100 million player. Don't laugh at this. It's the fact. It is a fact. And don't misunderstand it. It is a fact. Rancheki and Mohamed Kudus remain on Chelsea radar going into the final 10 days of the window. But other options are also being considered. I'm giving you the latest update in the news. What is happening now? What is happening right now? You are sleeping or you are at night, but managers are still working. People are still working. So this news that I'm giving you are updates about the market, the transfer market right now as we speak. AS Roma attempted to sign Romelu Lukaku on loan. However, Chelsea weren't open to it. Chelsea are not open to giving Romelu Lukaku out on loan. AS Roma wanted to get him on loan, but Chelsea are not open to loan move. Mohamed Salah has reached 200 goal involvement in the Premier League. Our own brother, African brother, the Egyptian brother, has reached 200 goals involvement in the Premier League. Congratulations on an esteemed landmark, Mo Salah. Yes. I'm giving you live updates. It's finally time to test this center-back partnership out. Who am I talking about? Benoit Badiashile is getting to full fitness for Chelsea. Benoit Badiashile is getting to full fitness for Chelsea. Currently, he's training. He is training with the squad. He's getting to full fitness after injury. He's one of the players that have recovered. And he's getting to full fitness after injury. I'm giving you other news before we run up tonight so that you can go to sleep wherever you're watching me from. Yeah. Chelsea are not negotiating to sign Brennan Johnson as of today. You see the twists and turns in the market? According to Fabrizio Romano, these are the twists and turns in the market. You hear the news Chelsea are interested in. Another moment, they are not showing interest. They are not negotiating. So if Chelsea is not negotiating to sign Brennan Johnson as of today, then what is happening? That tells you that Chelsea's attention is still on Mohamed Kudus or Ryan Cherki. Especially Kudus. I know Chelsea are planning to hijack that deal from West Ham. West Ham submitted another bid yesterday and it was rejected. I forgot to mention that. West Ham has submitted a third bid for Chelsea for Mohamed Kudus to Ajax. West Ham submitted another bid yesterday of about £42 million. But that bid was rejected by Ajax yesterday. Their second bid to Ajax was rejected yesterday. West Ham. And that tells me something. That tells me something. We need to watch out. Chelsea is cooking something. It's possible Chelsea are working behind the scene. They submitted another bid yesterday and that bid was rejected. Chelsea submitted another bid yesterday. To other news. This is about Manchester United. Sheikh Jassim is set to complete his full £6 billion takeover of Manchester United by mid-October. A date is penciled in and an announcement could come as early as next month. Sheikh Jassim, we know that Manchester United, they were trying to sell the club long ago. The process started long ago. And it was expected that the takeover would take place before even the league will start. But there were delays. Now the new date to take over has been released. That Sheikh Jassim is set to complete his full £6 billion takeover of Manchester United by mid-October. A date is penciled in and an announcement could come as early as next month. Back to Chelsea. Chelsea appreciate Brennan Johnson as talented player, but didn't submit any bid, not negotiating to sign Brennan Johnson as of today. Club looking at different options in that position as things stand. So Chelsea are looking at different options as in that position as things stand right now, according to Fabrizio Romeo. Just when I started to enjoy watching Mount, anyway, Mason Mount is injured in Manchester United squad, and he'll be out for who? For what? For a few weeks. Official, Manchester United. Mason Mount will miss the match against Nottingham Forest with an injury pick-up against Tottenham. He's expected to be out until the international break. That is to Manchester United fans. Somebody sent me a message here. He said, every time the news will come, he said, Mohamed Kudus, then they will now go to Brennan Johnson. Mohamed Kudus will come up again, then they will go to Bradley Bacola. Mohamed Kudus' name will come up again, and they will say, next option. Who will be that next option? Just sign Mohamed Kudus and be free. Just sign him and be free. Just sign Mohamed Kudus and be free. You cannot continue like this. Mohamed Kudus and this person. Mohamed Kudus, and then every time Mohamed Kudus' name will come up, there will be other options that will come up. Now, all other options. Today we are hearing that Chelsea are no longer interested. They appreciate the talent of Brennan Johnson, but they are looking at other options. Who is that option again? Just sign Mohamed Kudus and be free, Chelsea. That is a comment from a friend. A friend sent that to me. I know Ghanaian fans will be so excited if Mohamed Kudus comes to Chelsea. But it's not easy like that. It's not so easy for the clubs. It's not so. They are looking at certain positions and what they expect. You know, they are looking at players into details. And don't forget, Mohamed Kudus also, his agent is a very difficult agent to negotiate with. It's a very difficult agent to start with. What I suspect is that Chelsea are waiting for West Ham to submit their last bid. Most probably the third bid from West Ham will be coming in, most probably. Then Chelsea will now jump in and add on top in order to grab the player. They don't want to go in when they are not sure how much Ajax really wants. Ajax already said that they said 51 million euros. That 51 million euros should be about 48 million pounds or 47 million pounds. but they want West Ham to get to their limits, then they will now come in. That is what I suspect. That is if they truly want him. Because I would not like it that Kudus become the last option for Manchester, for Chelsea. That Chelsea become the last, Kudus become the last option. No. Kudus cannot become the last option at this point. No. You understand it? I'm not hoping that they will say Kudus is our last option. No. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to other news. I'm sorry, just a moment, please. Many people are talking about Modric. But when Modric came on, Modric has his own shortfalls. So I don't want to talk so much about him until I see him in the next game. Now, there's another news here about Mohamed Kudus. Both Ajax and the players' reps believe that very big clubs will return to the frame to try and sign the West Ham target Mohamed Kudus within the next few days. You see it there now. Both Ajax and the players' reps agents believe that very big clubs will return to the frame to try and sign West Ham targets Mohamed Kudus within the next few days. You see their belief there. Both the agent and the club, they know what they are doing. By rejecting West Ham offer, West Ham second offer, second bid. It's not the first time. West Ham, first of all, the first bid was in last week. Yesterday, their bid was rejected again. Now, it is believed that both the club Ajax and the players' reps believe that very big clubs will return to the frame to try and sign the West Ham target Mohamed Kudus within the next few days. It means that something is happening behind the scene. Something is happening behind the scene. The reps and the club, they know there are other clubs that are talking to them, that are looking at the options available to them. So Chelsea fans, we still have hope in getting Mohamed Kudus. Since now it is very clear that they are not showing any interest in Brennan Johnson. There's a hope there. That is the reason why they are rejected. They've rejected West Ham twice so far. They rejected him so far. Coming back to Manchester United, in the last 48 hours, Man United told the agents of Pavard they are no longer in the race for him and he can join Inter Milan because they are not negotiating with any other club for Harry Maguire. They expect Maguire to stay. So Pavard now, Inter have the clear opportunity to sign Pavard. Inter have the clear opportunity to sign Pavard. Yes. Romelu Lukaku is currently training with the under-21 squad and has not even spoken to manager Mauricio Pochettino. That we know already. So we'll be running up very soon. I just want to give you the latest updates in the transfer market. Then we close from there. So just give me a minute to the transfer market, a moment to the transfer market, few minutes to the transfer market, then we move on from there. Yes. The transfer market. What is new? Is there anything new in the transfer market tonight? There is no news update yet on the transfer market. Paris Saint-Germain have given up on trying to sign Bernardo Silva from Manchester City because he had already signed a new deal with the club. He already penned a new deal with Manchester City. The 29-year-old has been one of their top targets. By the way, PSG, they kept signing players. They kept signing and signing. This season, they signed almost about 8 or 9 players. What is it that they want? What is it? Hey, PSG. It's funny anyway. Because they have the money, they can just splash the money. They kept signing. Anyway, let me end up here tonight with you. Yes, by the time you are up from bed, I will definitely come your way with the latest. I will come your way with the latest by the time you are up from bed. I'm grateful you are able to log in, you sign in, you stay with me till this moment. Shalom and peace with you.